And the race for New Jersey's next governor is now set. Democratic Congressman Mikey Sherrill and Republican Jack Ciattarelli have won their party's primaries in the Garden State, according to NBC News projections. Their victories set the stage for what will be one of the most closely watched races of the year. New Jersey is one of two states with governor's races this year. The contest likely to be an early sign of how voters are responding to President Trump's second term. Joining us now, NBC News national politics reporter Bridget Bowman. She's been covering this race extensively. So let's start on the Democratic side, because it was a competitive primary there. What worked for Sherrill to come out so decisively on top here?
Yeah, that's right. It was a really crowded primary. 6 candidates. New Jersey hasn't seen a race like this in a really long time. And each of the candidates kind of represented different paths forward for the Democratic Party. You had your moderates, your really staunch progressives. You had Sherrill, who was kind of in the middle of all of it. And one thing she was stressing along the way is she was pointing to her 2018 race, where she flipped a long-time Republican seat, saying, I'm the candidate that can win. And as I talked to a lot of Democratic voters in New Jersey, they told me they were really prioritizing electability. They wanted someone who could win. There's real concern that Republicans can win this seat in November, given some of the historic trends in the state. And another thing that voters were prioritizing is they were looking for a candidate who's going to stand up to President Trump. Yeah. And some of Sherrill's supporters who I spoke with often described her as tough. She's a former Navy helicopter pilot, a former prosecutor, a mom. And they looked at her as somebody who could really push back against the Trump administration. And those are the messages that Congresswoman Sherrill was really stressing on the campaign trail as well.
Yeah, stressing her pragmatism. That was also something she did often in Congress, as you and I both know from covering her. And then on the Republican side, you had President Trump weighing in on behalf of Ciattarelli. Works in a primary. What happens in a general, though?
Sure. Yeah, it really boosted Ciattarelli in this primary. He won about 2/3 of the vote, a huge win for him. He carried every county in the state. Wow. And it's an interesting evolution when you look at him as well. He ran in 2021 for governor, didn't campaign with Trump, kind of kept him at a distance. This time around is really embracing him. Some Republicans don't necessarily think that's a losing strategy now, given the gains that President Trump made in New Jersey. It saw the second largest swing towards him of any state in the country in 2024. But we have actually started to see how Ciattarelli is going to try to navigate the Trump dynamic. He started to say on the campaign trail, well, what does President Trump have to do with our property taxes? What does he have to do with our schools? And trying to keep the focus on Democrats who are in charge of the state government. Last night in his speech, Ciattarelli called Congresswoman Sherrill Phil Murphy 2.0, referring to the Democratic governor in the state. So he's going to really try to localize this race.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll see the way the Democrats allow or don't that to happen. But I was thinking yesterday as I was watching Sherrill that there might be a low-key good story here for Democrats. Because a lot of their 2018 NatSec background candidates are now rising within the party. Alyssa Slotkin is in the Senate in Michigan. Andy Kim, the Senate in New Jersey. Abigail Spanberger running for governor in Virginia, widely seen as the front runner there. And then, of course, you've got Mikey Sherrill now also ascending to that kind of a place. Is there a thread here that Democrats could use as a blueprint?
Yeah, I think so. And to see this class of candidates, the class that took back the House in 2018, really rising as kind of the next, could they be the next leaders of the party, as we're asking who is that next group of folks to be watching? This class is certainly one to watch. And Sherrill and Spanberger are going to be an interesting pair to watch this year in Virginia and New Jersey. They were former roommates when they were in Congress. They're very much aligned. They have very similar backgrounds. So it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate some of these issues that have proven thornier for the Democratic Party, like affordability, like immigration. What lessons can the party take from their campaigns? And when I asked Congresswoman Sherrill that question, actually, like, what Democrats watching this race, what should they learn from you? She said that, the path forward to her is pretty obvious for the party. It's effectively governing. For her, she thinks that voters want, the phrase that she used was ruthless competence, that she thinks that that's what voters are really looking for.
Yeah, sounds like Mikey Sherrill when you hear that quote. Bridget Bowman, thank you for your extensive reporting on this. It's going to be a fascinating race to watch.